Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here on Daybreak, and we continue some great conversations as we focus on Shelton, brought to you by our community credit union. Andy Arnes and Gregory in today to talk about the upcoming meeting for the Downtown Connector Project. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good to see you all here. And Craig, talk to me a little bit about the meeting that's coming up on the 24th, the Wednesday night.
Well, we've received 90% design for the Downtown Connector Project. And if you aren't familiar with the Downtown Connector Project, basically Alder Street from Mickey's Deli down at First, all the way to the top of the hill on Olympic Highway North, up at Skipworth. So revitalization of that entire roadway and also streetscape.
Yeah.
We did have a public meeting back in October when we first started design. And we just really wanted to get the word back out to the general public in Mason County on some major changes to that design. So we want to really present those and get some feedback before we get to mid-February when we're going to get 100% design done.
What were some of the things that changed over time? Is it all based on community input or feasibility with the state, or how did those changes come about?
It was a combination of both. We got a lot of great feedback from that first meeting back in October. We took that back and really took a look at some of those elements. One was the intersection down at First and Alder Street. We did bring some consultants in to take a look at that, and also some folks from WashDOT volunteered their time to take a look at that and help us with the design. So some major changes down there. And then some of the hill section portions that are going to change also. But yeah, a combination of both, really hearing the community and what their wants were on that project and wanting to get the majority of those addressed and taken care of.
Andy, it seems like you're out there in the community talking to a ton of folks all the time,
Right.
And I would imagine traffic changes of this magnitude are something that people want to talk a lot about.
Most definitely. Yeah, we've.
You get a lot of
Yeah.
feedback on this when you're walking around the city and things
Yeah,
like
definitely. It's. I mean, traffic revisions are something that a lot of people are interested and engaged in. Obviously, and Craig's done a phenomenal job, him and his team, pushing some of those and getting some of these projects done. And so, this is just another great opportunity for people to come in and actually speak with a team that's directly engaged in this. And so, I can't remember if we mentioned the time of the meeting, but we are going to be doing that on Wednesday,
Okay.
Which is the January 24th at 6:00 p.m.
Okay.
So we'll be there for an hour or two.
Yep.
Go over those presentations, and it's a fantastic opportunity to come in.
And so, like the October meeting, you'll have the diagrams up there, and people will be able to see the changes from the October to now and moving forward.
We do, and some of the other aspects that we just finalized or are trying to finish up on, some of those elements are species of trees, some of the street lighting components that are going to be out there. And we will have some of our partners there at the meeting. PUD3 will have some representatives, Mason Conservation District, MTA, and also some folks from WashDOT to come and talk about some of their design elements that they helped out on or helped with. But yeah, just trying to finish up on some of those aspects that we took a look at early on and show people kind of what it's going to look like.
With 10% left, and you mentioned like the lights and the trees, that's, to me, and it seems like that might be the most enjoyable part of these projects, when you get to fill in the aesthetics for the folks who are driving, and they'll get a sense that this is their roads and it's all part of the community.
Some of those are the toughest ones, though.
Really?
When you really start looking at trees, when you're putting them between a roadway and a sidewalk, of what fits, how do you keep the roots from lifting the sidewalk and the street, and some of those things are the most difficult when you're just going out and designing a roadway. You've got a roadway section and it's pretty straightforward, but yeah, you start looking at how you get light in certain areas and what trees that you put out there that are low maintenance, that aren't going to be detrimental to your sidewalks and your roadway. Some of those are really difficult to really finish up on and get those so that it is a great project, not only now, but in decades to come
Yeah.
that we don't end up with issues on that project.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Wednesday the 24th,
Correct.
6
Yep.
o'clock at the
6
Civic
o'clock.
Center.
Yep.
And people can come with questions ready, but wait for the presentation because you may answer many of those questions.
For sure, yeah. But I think Craig's ready to answer anything that anybody has. So and there has been a lot of anticipation for this. Obviously, there's been talked about a lot. So I mean, when you talk about people out in the community, this is definitely a road that has had a lot of attention and comments, and so it's great to be moving forward on that.
Once everything is finalized and ready, how quickly can the project progress?
We are looking at final design by mid-February, most likely out to bid sometime in early March, and probably to construction sometime in late spring.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a fairly consolidated time frame. So we'd really like to try to finish this project up with the finalized or the finish of the Basin 3 project,
Okay.
which is kicking off. We've got bid opening on February 7th for Basin 3, and construction most likely sometime around mid-March. So that project's going to get up and running, and basically they're in the same location. So it'd be nice to wrap both of those up about the same time period, and they're about the same construction period. So yeah, we're hoping that we can bring that basically north of Alder Street downtown. It will look brand new after both of these projects get done. So it'll be nice to see if we can't get those two work together and bring those two to a close at the same time.
A lot of big changes. It looks good. All the work you guys have been doing looks really good.
Thank you.